In the vast expanse of space, humanity had always thought they were the underdogs. That changed on a quiet Tuesday morning when the Galactic Empire's 7th Fleet jumped into our solar system, expecting to find a primitive civilization still arguing about whether Pluto was a planet. What they found instead shook the very foundation of their 1,000-year-old empire. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of Earth's first supercarrier, the ECS Hyperion, watching through the reinforced viewports as the alien fleet materialized at the edge of Mars' orbit. The massive ship, hidden within the asteroid belt for the past decade, had been humanity's best-kept secret. Even now, most people on Earth had no idea it existed. Multiple contact signatures. Admiral? Lieutenant River reported, her fingers dancing across the holographic display. 17 capital ships matching known Imperial configurations. They're launching fighter screens. She paused, a slight smile playing across her face. They haven't spotted us yet. The bridge crew maintained their composure, but Chen could feel the electric tension in the air. 10 years of preparation had led to this moment. While the Empire thought they were dealing with a pre-FTL civilization that would roll over and accept their protection, humanity had been quietly reverse engineering the technology from a crashed Imperial scout ship found in the Antarctic ice. Status of the stealth systems? Chen asked, straightening his navy blue uniform. The artificial gravity shifted slightly as the massive ship adjusted its position among the asteroids. Operating at optimal efficiency, sir. The quantum camouflage is holding steady. Chief Engineer Thompson's voice came through the comm system. Those Imperial sensors still can't penetrate our hull. They think we're just another chunk of space rock. Through the viewport, Chen watched as the Imperial ships began their standard invasion formation. He'd studied their tactics for years. Their arrogance was about to be their undoing. The Empire had conquered hundreds of worlds, but they'd never faced anything like the Hyperion. Sir, Rivera called out, her voice tense. They're broadcasting their standard surrender demands to Earth. The UN Security Council is responding according to plan. Chen nodded, allowing himself a small smile. The political theater playing out would keep the Imperial fleet occupied just long enough. Begin power-up sequence for the main drive. Alert all hands to battle stations. Silent running protocols remain in effect. The Hyperion hummed to life around them, its revolutionary hybrid tech combining the best of human innovation with reversed-engineered Imperial technology. Deck after deck of railguns, plasma torpedoes, and point defense systems came online, all while maintaining their stealth profile. Sir, Rivera's voice dropped to just above a whisper, even though the Imperials couldn't possibly hear them. The primary fleet is moving past our position. They're taking the bait. Chen took a deep breath, thinking of all the sacrifices that had led to this moment. The countless hours of secret development, the families who would never know what their loved ones really did for a living, the silent heroes who had worked in the shadows to give humanity a fighting chance. Send word to the UN. Operation Trojan Horse is a go. Chen's words carried the weight of humanity's future. Let's show the Empire why they should have checked the asteroid belt before making demands. As the massive Imperial ships glided past their position, their sensors blind to the danger lurking in plain sight, Chen couldn't help but appreciate the irony. The Empire had come expecting to find simple primitives. Instead, they were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to surprise. The Hyperion's engines began their silent build-up to full power, ready to unleash hell upon an unsuspecting enemy. The Empire was about to learn a harsh lesson. Never underestimate the species that went from horse-drawn carriages to moon landings in less than 70 years. As the Hyperion's stealth systems maintained their cloak, Chen remembered the day everything changed. 6 years ago, deep beneath the Antarctic ice, they discovered more than just a crashed Imperial scout ship. They'd found proof that humanity wasn't as isolated as they thought. The ship's databanks revealed a disturbing truth. Earth had been marked for integration centuries ago, just waiting for the right moment. Engineering reports full power to all systems. Rivera announced, breaking Chen's reverie. Weapon batteries are hot, and shield generators are spinning up. Her hands moved with practiced precision across the control interface, the product of countless simulation drills. The Imperial fleet continued their advance, their formation spreading out to establish orbital superiority around Earth. Their massive ships, each nearly the size of Manhattan, cast long shadows across the planet below. They had no idea that their carefully planned invasion was about to collide with humanity's greatest technological achievement. "Sir," Communications Officer Lee cut in, "we're picking up internal transmissions from the Imperial fleet. They're—" He paused, double-checking his translation. "They're laughing about our satellite technology. They think our space stations are primitive." Chen allowed himself a grim smile. The International Space Station had been deliberately maintained as a decoy, along with thousands of outdated satellites. Meanwhile, the real work had happened here in the asteroid belt, hidden from prying eyes. "Status report on the planetary defense grid," Chen asked, watching as another Imperial destroyer took up position over North America. "All stations report ready," Rivera confirmed. "The ground-based installations are powered up but dormant. They won't know what hit them until it's too late." The bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency, years of training evident in every movement. They represented the best of humanity, not just military personnel, but scientists, engineers, and specialists from every corner of Earth, working together in secret to protect their home. Through the viewport, Chen could see Earth hanging like a blue jewel against the backdrop of space. Somewhere down there, billions of people were watching the Imperial ships with fear and uncertainty. They didn't know about the card humanity was about to play. "Sir," Lee's voice carried an urgent tone, "the Empire's ultimatum deadline is approaching. They're preparing to demonstrate their superior firepower with a shot across our bow." "Perfect," Chen replied, his fingers tightening on the command rail. "That's exactly what we've been waiting for. Status of our targeting solutions." "Locked and ready, sir. All weapons are aligned with their command ship's primary reactor housing. One shot is all we'll need." The bridge fell silent as they watched the Imperial flagship's weapon ports begin to glow. They were about to fire what they thought would be a warning shot, a display of power to force Earth's surrender. Instead, they were about to trigger their own downfall. "You know," Chen said quietly, addressing his crew, "in all their records, in all their conquered worlds, they never once encountered a species that hid their true capabilities. They expect us to be scared, primitive, easy to subjugate." He straightened his shoulders, eyes fixed on the Imperial fleet. "They never considered that we might be patient." The Imperial flagship's weapons reached full charge, their energy signature lighting up the Hyperion's sensors like a Christmas tree. Down on Earth, millions held their breath, unaware that humanity's greatest defender was about to reveal itself. "All hands," Chen's voice carried across the ship's comm system. "Prepare for combat operations. Remember your training. Remember what we're fighting for. And most importantly," he paused, watching the Imperial weapons prepare to fire, "remember that they have no idea what's about to hit them." The Imperial flagship's weapon ports flared with blinding purple energy, preparing to fire their warning shot at Earth. In that split second, Chen gave a slight nod to Rivera. "Initiate Operation Thunderbolt. Let's show them what humanity's been hiding." The Hyperion's stealth field dropped like a curtain falling away, revealing the massive warship in all its glory. Nearly 3 kilometers of gleaming titanium alloy armor, bristling with weapons that combined human ingenuity with reverse-engineered Imperial tech. The sudden appearance of a warship that rivaled their flagship in size caused immediate chaos in the Imperial fleet. "Enemy fleet is responding," Rivera reported, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Their formation is breaking. Multiple ships attempting emergency course corrections. The Imperial vessels scrambled like startled birds, their perfect invasion formation dissolving into disarray." "Sir," Lee called out, "we're being hailed by the Imperial flagship." Their admiral seems distressed. The hint of satisfaction in his voice was unmistakable. "Ignore it," Chen commanded. They had their chance to talk. "Launch strike groups Alpha through Delta. Let's give them a proper Earth welcome." The Hyperion's massive launch bays opened like flowering petals, releasing swarms of fighters. Unlike the clunky shuttles the Empire expected from Earth, these were sleek, atmospheric craft equipped with technology that had been refined and improved upon over the past decade. Enemy fighters are launching to intercept, Rivera announced. They're still trying to regroup their capital ships. Her hands flew across the control interface, coordinating the fighter squadron's attack patterns. Through the viewport, Chen watched as the first wave of Earth fighters engaged the Imperial squadrons. The Empire's pilots clearly expected an easy victory over what they assumed would be primitive craft. Instead, they found themselves facing pilots who had trained specifically to counter Imperial tactics, flying ships that incorporated the best of both worlds' technology. Multiple direct hits on enemy fighters, Lee reported, excitement creeping into his professional tone. Our pilots are reporting the shield modifications are working exactly as designed. Imperial energy weapons are only registering at 20% effectiveness. The bridge crew maintained their composure, but Chen could feel the surge of pride in the room. This was the moment they had prepared for, the culmination of a decade's worth of secret technological development and training. Sir, Rivera's voice cut through the controlled chaos. The Imperial flagship is charging weapons. They're targeting us directly now. She paused, checking her readings. Their energy signature it's higher than anything we've seen in the simulations. Chen's jaw tightened. This was the moment of truth. Everything they'd worked for, every sacrifice made in secret, came down to whether their calculations were correct. The Imperial flagship's hull began to glow with accumulated energy, preparing to unleash its full fury on the upstart humans who dared to challenge them. Bring our main cannon online, Chen ordered, his voice calm despite the stakes. Target their primary reactor housing. Let's test our theory about their shield configuration. The Hyperion's own weapon ports began to hum with power, but unlike the purple glow of Imperial tech, these emitted a deep blue resonance. It was the product of human scientists working to not just copy Imperial technology, but to understand and improve upon it. Enemy flagship firing in 3, 2. Rivera's countdown was interrupted by a brilliant flash of purple energy lancing out from the Imperial vessel, heading straight for the Hyperion's bridge. The moment of truth had arrived. Everything humanity had worked for in secret was about to be put to the ultimate test. As the enemy's energy beam approached, Chen stood tall on his bridge, trusting in human ingenuity and the countless hours of preparation that had led to this moment. This wasn't just a battle for Earth's freedom. It was humanity's announcement to the galaxy that they weren't just another primitive species to be conquered. They were something the Empire had never encountered before, a civilization that had chosen to appear weak while preparing to be strong. The purple energy beam from the Imperial flagship streaked towards the Hyperion, but instead of impacting the hull, something unexpected happened. The beam split into thousands of fractals, dispersing harmlessly across an invisible barrier that shimmered like the northern lights. Quantum deflection field holding at 98%, Rivera announced, her voice tight with controlled excitement. They hit us with everything they had, sir, and we're still here. Before the Imperial fleet could process this shocking development, proximity alarms blared across the Hyperion's bridge, multiple signatures emerging from hyperspace. Lee shouted, his eyes widening at the sensor readings. Sir, they're Imperial reinforcements. A lot of them. Through the viewport, space itself seemed to tear open as another fleet materialized. Twice the size of the first invasion force, these ships bore the distinctive red markings of the Empire's elite First Strike Fleet. Humanity's moment of triumph suddenly faced an unexpected complication. Well, Chen said quietly, looks like someone thought we were important enough to warrant a visit from Admiral Vex himself. The name was spoken with recognition. They'd found extensive records about the Empire's most ruthless commander in the crashed scout ship's database. Sir, Rivera interjected, receiving encrypted transmission from Luna Base. Project Phoenix is ready. A knowing look passed between them. The Empire thought they'd found humanity's only surprise. They were wrong. The massive Imperial reinforcement fleet moved into attack formation, their numbers seeming to blot out the stars themselves. But Chen noticed something they didn't, the subtle shifting of asteroids throughout the belt, movements too precise to be natural. All hands. Chen broadcast across the ship's comm system. Initiate contingency Omega. Authorization code. Thermopylae. Throughout the Hyperion, crew members who had trained for years for this possibility began executing a series of carefully planned protocols. "Sir," Lee reported, his voice barely containing his amazement, "Admiral Vex is demanding our immediate surrender. Lee paused, double-checking his translation. "He's offering to spare Earth if we hand over our stolen technology." Chen allowed himself a small smile. "Stolen? Now that's interesting. They think we just copied their tech." He turned to face his crew. "Time to show them how much humanity can improve on something when we put our minds to it." The space around the asteroid belt began to shimmer, similar to the effect of the Hyperion's stealth system dropping. But this time, it wasn't just one ship being revealed. Dozens of asteroids that had been carefully hollowed out and converted over the past decade began to show their true nature. "All auxiliary vessels reporting ready," Rivera announced, her fingers flying across her console. "Operation Lazarus is go." The Empire had arrived expecting to crush a single rebellious warship. Instead, they watched in shock as an entire fleet of Earth vessels emerged from their asteroid hideouts, each incorporating technologies that the Empire had thought impossible to combine. "Send word to Luna Base," Chen ordered, his voice carrying the weight of humanity's next move. "Tell them to launch the Phoenix Protocol. All ships, battle formation Delta. Let's show the Empire why you should never corner a species that split the atom just to prove they could." As both fleets faced each other across the void of space, Chen realized that this wasn't just about protecting Earth anymore. This was humanity's chance to prove that creativity and determination could overcome even the most overwhelming odds. The Empire had brought their best fleet to crush what they saw as an upstart civilization, but they were about to learn that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their ability to plan for every contingency, even ones that seemed impossible. As the hidden Earth fleet revealed itself, Admiral Vex's voice boomed across all channels, a mixture of rage and disbelief in his tone. Impossible. No primitive species could have developed this level of... His transmission cut off abruptly as the lunar surface began to glow. "Phoenix Protocol is active," Rivera reported, her voice filled with quiet awe. "Lunar gravity generators engaging now." What happened next would be talked about in both human and imperial history for generations to come. The moon's surface rippled like water, the result of thousands of gravity generators working in perfect harmony. The Empire's elite fleets suddenly found themselves caught in an artificial gravity well that hadn't existed moments before. "Their ships are being pulled out of formation," Lee announced, monitoring the chaos unfolding before them. "The lunar gravity field is disrupting their stabilizers. They can't maintain their position." Chen watched as the mighty Imperial vessels, some of the most advanced warships in the galaxy, were dragged toward the moon's surface like leaves caught in a whirlpool. "All Earth vessels, commence firing pattern Theta. Target their engine cores while they're destabilized." The combined Earth fleet moved with practiced precision, their weapons finding weak points in the Imperial ship's shields that only thousands of hours of studying the crashed scout ship had revealed. Blue energy beams sliced through purple barriers, cutting into Imperial hulls with surgical accuracy. "Sir," Rivera called out, "Admiral Vex's flagship is attempting to open a hyperspace window. They're trying to escape." The massive Imperial command ship's engines flared as it fought against the lunar gravity well. Ken's expression hardened. "Not this time. Signal the Prometheus station. Execute final protocol." High above Earth's North Pole, a hidden station that had been mistaken for a weather satellite revealed its true purpose. A concentrated beam of energy shot forth, striking the space directly in front of Vex's fleeing flagship. The hyperspace window collapsed before it could fully form. "What? What have you done?" Vex's voice crackled across the comm system, genuine fear replacing his previous arrogance. "That's impossible. You can't disrupt hyperspace itself." "Actually," Chen responded, opening a channel for the first time, "we found the research in your scout ship's database. You never pursued it because you thought it was too dangerous. Humanity has a habit of doing the impossible when we need to survive. The battle reached its crescendo as Earth's combined fleet, led by the Hyperion, unleashed their full arsenal. Imperial ships, caught between the lunar gravity well and the precision strikes of Earth's vessels, began to surrender one by one. But just as victory seemed certain, Rivera's console erupted with warnings. Sir, massive energy spike from Admiral Vexa's flagship. They're overloading their reactor. He's trying to take us all with him, Chen realized, watching the Imperial flagship's core reaching critical levels. The explosion would be enough to devastate half the solar system. That's when the final part of humanity's plan revealed itself. The asteroids that hadn't contained hidden ships began to move, forming a precise geometric pattern around the Imperial flagship. Each one activated ancient technology that humanity had discovered buried beneath Earth's surface, technology that predated both humans and the Empire. Ancient containment field activated, Rivera reported as crystal-like structures emerged from the asteroids, creating a barrier around Vexa's ship. The Imperial flagship's reactor detonated, but instead of destroying everything around it, the explosion was contained within the crystalline structure, compressed into a singular point of light that winked out of existence. As the remaining Imperial ships surrendered, Chen opened a general broadcast channel. To all Imperial vessels, Earth is not, and never was, your prey. We are not your subjects. We are humanity, and we just proved we can defeat your best fleet. Remember that before you ever think of returning. The bridge crew watched as the surviving Imperial ships were systematically disabled and captured. But Chen's thoughts were already turning to the future. They had unveiled humanity's true strength today, but they had also revealed the existence of technology that predated both civilizations. The real questions were just beginning. In the end, the Empire had learned a crucial lesson. Never assume that a species' visible technology reflects their true capabilities. Sometimes, the most dangerous civilizations are the ones patient enough to hide their strength until the perfect moment. In the aftermath of the battle, Earth's combined fleet maintained a defensive formation as cleanup operations began. Debris from damaged Imperial ships was carefully collected and studied, adding to humanity's already substantial knowledge of their technology. The captured Imperial vessels, their crews now confined to secure facilities on Earth, represented the largest intelligence coup in human history. Chen stood in the Hyperion's observation deck, watching as Earth's first wave of diplomatic ships prepared to depart for the Imperial capital. The Empire had underestimated humanity once. They wouldn't make that mistake again. But rather than press their advantage through force, Earth's leadership had chosen a different path. Admiral, River approached, holding a data tablet. The preliminary analysis of the ancient containment technology is complete. It's not what we expected. She handed him the tablet, her expression thoughtful. The crystalline structures weren't just containment devices. They were meant to be a message. Chen scrolled through the data, his eyes widening as he read. The technology they'd discovered hadn't been left by some long-dead civilization. It had been placed there deliberately, recently, by someone or something watching humanity's development. The message encoded in the crystals was clear. They had passed the test. How many other species, Chen mused, did exactly what the Empire expected? How many surrendered without revealing their true potential? He turned to Rivera. We weren't just fighting for Earth today. We were proving something about humanity itself. Below them, the lunar surface had returned to its familiar appearance, the gravity generators once again hidden beneath its regolith. The captured Imperial ships were being escorted to Earth's orbital shipyards, where human engineers were already eager to study and improve upon their technology. Sir, Rivera said, hesitating slightly, there's something else. The long-range sensors we installed throughout the solar system, they detected more of those crystalline signatures, not just around Earth, but throughout the galaxy. Someone's been watching all of us, Empire included. Chen nodded slowly. The victory over the Empire wasn't the end of humanity's story. It was just the beginning. They had proven themselves worthy of something greater, though what that meant remained to be seen. Send word to the science teams, he ordered. I want to know everything about these crystals. and get me a secure channel to the UN Security Council. They need to know what we found." As the sun rose over Earth's horizon, casting golden light across the Hyperion's hull, Ken reflected on how far humanity had come. From discovering that crashed scout ship in Antarctica to building a fleet in secret, from reverse engineering Imperial tech to improving upon it, every step had led to this moment. "One more thing, sir," Rivera added, a slight smile playing across her face. "The Imperial prisoners keep asking the same question. Why did we wait? Why didn't we reveal our true strength sooner?" Chen smiled, remembering all the years of preparation, all the secret developments, all the quiet victories that had led to this moment. "Tell them it's simple. Humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our patience, our creativity, and our ability to work together when it matters most." As the diplomatic ships jumped to hyperspace, carrying Earth's representatives to negotiate with the Empire as equals, Ken knew that humanity's greatest adventures were still ahead. They had protected their home, revealed their strength, and discovered they weren't alone in questioning the Empire's dominance. The stars beckoned, filled with more mysteries to solve and challenges to overcome. But now humanity would face them not as a primitive species hiding its strength, but as a civilization that had earned its place among the stars. The Empire's attempt to conquer Earth hadn't just failed. It had unveiled humanity's true potential to the galaxy. And somewhere out there, watching through their crystalline sentinels, an ancient intelligence had just added humanity to a very select list. Species worth watching.